Why is giving so good for us, Brittany?
So we know that it benefits the people that we're helping, but it's also good for the individual that's helping. Believe it or not, it can actually increase your lifespan.
Okay.
It helps lower blood pressure and create more fulfillment in life. So not only is it good for the person you're helping, it's actually really deep down good for you.
We're talking a little bit today about why giving is good for us. Yeah. Right? We're kind of in this season of holidays now. Thankfully, we all made it to November. We're getting into the holiday time. Halloween is over, everyone. We're so grateful for all of you parents out there. Halloween should never be on a Monday. But
that's true.
Why is giving so good for us, Brittany?
Yeah, so we know that it benefits the people that we're helping, but it's also good for the individual that's helping. Believe it or not, it can actually increase your lifespan.
Okay.
It helps lower blood pressure and create more fulfillment in life. So not only is it good for the person you're helping, it's actually really deep down good for you.
I love that. How important. And so when we're thinking about giving, obviously there's tons of different ways to give, right? What do we need to consider from your perspective?
Yeah, so a lot of times we think if we're going to help someone, it's going to be a financial contribution. That doesn't have to be the case.
Right.
So think about things you're passionate about. They say when you give something that's truly from the heart and that you care about, there's a lot more fulfillment in giving rather than feeling pressured into giving, right?
Yeah.
So think about what causes you're passionate about. And again, look at your budget because you want to make sure you're not overextending yourself just to give. There's many great things you can do that are completely free. So think about you see your neighbor next door that needs maybe their leaves raked, they're older, or you want to give away some old toys in your house, or you want to figure out how you can serve at your local nonprofit that's really means something to you, like say the Humane Society, you want to go walk a dog. So there's a lot of great things you can do that don't take money. Of course, there's always, if you want to do that, you can. But if you don't have the means, there's other ways you can give.
I love that. Just our simple presence can sometimes help, right?
Yes.
And yes, the Humane Society. I love that idea of going and walking dogs for a minute. That's a great idea. So we're obviously going to look at our budget when it comes to giving, make sure that we're not just giving all of our money. We have to be mindful of that too, yes. Especially this time of year when we're thinking about holidays and giving gifts, right? Monetary stuff, all of that, but we can actually give of ourselves. I love that message. So cool. So, how do we help decide where to give our time, our money? How do we do that? What are your thoughts on that?
So if you don't have a cause that you're already involved with, you can go to justserve.org or volunteermatch.org, and they can help you come across maybe a charity that there's something you like animals, but you don't know of a shelter you can help at, or you really want to help with maybe curing cancer or whatever you're passionate about. And so those two can be a great resource. You can also look and see if your employer does a match, like Mountain America's done a match in the past for different charities, and see if your money can even go farther with a match.
I love that. What are some other meaningful ways that we can donate?
Yeah, so one thing is if you have children, to talk to your kids and your spouse about, hey, we want to help, especially at this time of year. How can you help, whether that's a sub for Santa or just a charity, whatever it may be, but get your kids' input and see how they want to help. And maybe it's something as simple as going around the house, finding old toys and books that you're not using anymore, and finding a good home for that, and explaining to them, not everyone, maybe has access to toys and books, and really using it as a learning opportunity as well.
I love that. I love the idea of getting our family and kids involved too. So Any other thoughts on how we can get kids involved in giving?
Yeah, I think, again, just looking at how they, what their interests are and getting their input, and maybe getting them to serve too, getting the family together for an activity and volunteering maybe at the food bank or whatever that you determine as a family is a good cause.
I love that. Well, and you have down here too, volunteering your time and blood.
Yes.
That seems kind of creepy. Halloween's over, Brittany. What do you mean
I know. Well, there's always a need of blood, right? So if
Yes.
you can, giving blood is also another really great thing to do if you can. So
Yeah. So lots of ways to give, not just by, all of the companies out there that are asking for money and those foundations, which is important, right? And if you can, great. But if that's not in your budget this year, because we all know we have been all feeling inflation, the effects of it, and interest rates are increasing, maybe if money's not your way to give, we can give of our blood or your time. Or our time. Okay, awesome. So we talked about where we can find some opportunities, right? You mentioned justserve.org, and what was the other one again?
Volunteermatch.org.
Volunteermatch.org. And then tell me a little bit about how Mountain America helps give back.
Yeah, so I could go on and on for hours, but we don't have that much time. We are really committed to living the philosophy, the credit union philosophy of people helping people. Mm-hmm. So not only do we have opportunities for our employees to serve, we also use our corporate partnerships as ways to give back to the community. So two things that come to mind when we talk about what we do to allow our employees to connect to the community is 1 month of caring.
Okay.
And we just finished our 4th year, believe it or not, of Month of Caring, and we've donated nearly 12,000 service hours to great causes throughout our 6 states. And so that's really a great opportunity. So every September, Mountain America employees have paid time and they get to go out and serve in their communities. Another thing that we've done for the last 3 years, which I'm sure you've been involved in both of these, is the employee match program. So Mountain America matches up to a certain amount of employees' donations. And so the first year it came out was right in the middle of the pandemic. There was a great need for food, and so we donated to the local food banks. Then the following year, we supported Operation Warm in providing coats and shoes to kids in need. And then this past year, we supported the Make-A-Wish Foundation. So we've contributed over $70,000 the last 3 years to these 3 causes just through the help of our employees and the company match. So those two are really great things that allow, again, the employees to be able to live that credit union philosophy.
I love that. And, we joke around here that, we're the Mountain America family.
Yes.
But until you start working here and you understand what the culture is like, it's fun to joke about it. But
yes,
it really
I saw that from the outside. Mountain America was my client for many years before I came here. And the reason I'm here is because I love the culture of Mountain America. I could tell something was different. And it's programs like these that make the difference.
I love that. So in addition to involving our employees in giving, through that month of service, that month of caring, and then, obviously through the matching of the donations, what else does Mountain America do to help out the community? And how does Mountain America give back?
Yeah, so through our corporate partnerships, we have so many things throughout our footprint. And really, we are committed to making the places we live a better world. Everything is about giving back. And so when we do a partnership, it's about how are we going to make the local community better. And so some exciting things we have coming up is the Mountain America Center is opening this fall.
Okay.
And it's up in Idaho Falls, and there is no venue like that before. It's about a 5,000-seat multi-purpose arena, and it will be the home of the Idaho Spud Kings and concerts and conventions. It has a convention center attached to it. There's nothing like it there, and so it's going to be a gathering place. But we really wanted to kick that off. It's a great facility, a great way for us to give back to that community. But what can we do to do more? So as I mentioned, we do a lot of work with Operation Warm.
Yeah.
And they are a local well, I shouldn't say local, they're national really, but we work with them in all of our local markets. And they provide coats and shoes to kids in need, brand new coats and shoes. I mean, we're talking their, variety of sizes and styles. And so kids get to hand pick them. So we thought,
cool.
I went up to school in Rexburg, and it was really, really cold. So you can imagine Idaho Falls in November and December is going to be really cold as we open up the Mountain America Center. So we decided to partner with Operation Warm to donate 500 brand new coats to kids. So we're busing kids over to the Mountain America Center, and they get the chance to watch the Spud Kings and get a brand new coat. And so that's one thing we're doing up there in Idaho. So many great things that come from giving a coat. It's more than just having a tangible coat. It gives them the confidence. It allows them to walk to school, get the education they need, get the meals they need. And so there's a lot more than just getting a brand new coat.
Absolutely. And tell me a little bit more about why helping that community specifically is so important.
Yeah, so we're obviously in the Idaho market, and there's 13% of children in that area living in poverty. And so you can imagine when you're trying to pay your rent is right now, as we all know, very expensive, and mortgages. Cost of living is super high right now. You may not be able to afford a coat, but as cold as it gets up there, you're going to need a coat for, to get to school on those cold days. A lot of them are taking buses or walking, and just the confidence it gives them. And so the basic necessities such as food and coats really are important, especially in times like right now when we're dealing with inflation and challenging times. So we want to make sure that parents are made up, have to make the decision between paying the power bill and getting their kid a coat, that we can help provide that coat for them.
I love that. And like you said, get them to school in their coat. They can get food there too, right? So really, really important. I love that. Tell me a little bit more. I know we talked about the Mountain America Center in Idaho Falls. You said it's home of the Spud Kings. What on earth are the Spud Kings? Are these like awesome potato farmers, or what are we doing here?
Yes, I know. It's very fitting for Idaho, but it's a brand new minor league hockey team that will play at the Mountain America Center. So these are primarily high school kids looking to play in the NCAA, and then from there go into the NHL. And so it's a beautiful facility. And like I said, it's also going to be the home to many concerts and events and RV shows and that type of a thing. But it's really was built to have a place for this minor league hockey team and help those kids grow and develop and get them to NCAA, if not the pros. So
cool. Love that. We have another awesome partnership, right? We mentioned the Humane Society earlier, but tell me more about that one.
So we've been a longstanding supporter of the Humane Society, and we're both dog people, so we love our little fur babies, and we are, as an organization, really support the life-saving mission of the Humane Society. Through our support, we've saved over 1,000 pets through the Pet of the Week. And then this Fall in Love adoption event started 5 years ago. And we thought, how can we help save even more pets? So we started this event right before Thanksgiving, where we offer a free week of adoption. So Mountain America pays for all adoption fees that week before Thanksgiving, and we get as many pets as we can home before the holidays. So not only are they finding their forever homes, but the Humane Society, as you may not know, takes a lot of pets from overcrowded shelters. So when we clear out the Humane Society, that means we're saving hundreds of more pets by bringing those pets over to the Humane Society. So that's been fun. I know you've been there for many of those events, and it's really heartwarming to see people open their hearts and for those pets to find loving homes.
Yes, exactly. And one thing, we were at the Humane Society a few weeks ago, and crazy enough, like inflation is affecting our pets too.
Yes.
Right? So crazy that, you have to choose between feeding your family and even maybe between your family members versus your human family members versus your pet family members. So the Humane Society has awesome things in place right now. They mentioned when we were there, they have a program where they can help you feed your pet, right? So if for some reason you can't afford food, come to them. They'll help you.
Yes.
But then they also, to your point, have more animals coming in than ever before.
Yes, and they're not having very many adopted right now due to the inflation. So as you mentioned, this, the Pet of the Week, which is every Friday, and you can look for who the Pet of the Week is on our social channels. But it's really important right now that we reduce any financial barriers between someone that would love a pet and the pet. So that's why this year it's even more important than ever to have this adoption event and continue our Pet of the Week. And yes, if you're thinking about surrendering your pet because you can't afford their food, make sure you go to the Humane Society, or if you're not close to another shelter, they can help you provide the food so that you can keep them in your home.
I love that. And so the Pet of the Week, their adoption fees are always paid for by Mountain America.
Yes.
But then also the Fall in Love adoption event is that week before Thanksgiving. So we know that this has already happened for us. But next year we'll hopefully do it again and watch for that Pet of the Week every Friday.
Yeah. So this was our 5th year, and with that we've saved over 600 pets. And then, like I said, hundreds more with the Pet of the Week. So we look forward to that event every year. So mark your calendars for next November for another Fall in Love event. It's a great opportunity to find those pets forever homes. And between now and then, watch for the Pet of the Week.
Awesome. So we've talked about, of course, Humane Society, which, good grief, that's one of my favorites for sure.
Yes.
The Mountain America Center. Next, we have an awesome partnership with Megaplex Theaters, right? We wanted to talk about.
Yeah. So when we recently met with them, we said we want to do more in the community. I have so many people visiting there. How can we use our partnership to do more good in the community? And so with Megaplex and the Larry H. Miller Foundation, we decided we were going to fight child hunger. And with that, we identified USANA Kids Eat as the recipient for that. I know a lot of people hear USANA and wonder how they're associated. So they recently purchased that charity and cover all of the overhead. So the great thing about that is, yes, it is still a 501c3, but USANA covers all of the overhead. And so all of the donations are going directly to providing food for kids. So what we mean by that too, when we talk about providing food, many of the kids, we've talked about poverty rates and food scarcity right now. In Utah, 1 in 7 kids are, experience food scarcity, and 25% of them qualify for free meals at school. So what happens when they go home on a long weekend or a holiday? They don't have food at home. And so USANA Kids Eat provides backpacks full of food, nutritious meals that kids can have for those long holidays. And again, it's like Operation Warm. It goes back to helping them excel in school and helping them grow and be successful. So with the help of Megaplex and the Larry H. Miller Foundation, we've donated $20,000 to USANA Kids Eat this year, which will provide 14,000 meals to these kids in need. And for just $10, you can provide a backpack to a kid. So this time of year, as we're talking about giving, if this is something you're passionate about, we invite you to help us with make that 14,000 meals 28,000. We're trying to double our donations and are asking community members that feel so inclined to donate to that cause. And so there will be there's a link in this description that will give you the website if you're interested in doing that match with us. But it's a great cause. We're grateful for the Larry H. Miller Group and for their support of this and just to really be able to help these kids.
Yes, and helping kids right here close to home. Really important. Yes. I love that. So in addition to Mountain America, with all these partnerships that you and your awesome team have obviously worked so hard to make happen, what are some other ways that Mountain America gives back?
Yeah. So in addition to creating these cause marketing campaigns, we also are committed to guiding our members along their financial journey. So with that means financial education resources. And I should say, even beyond our members, just community members in general. We obviously provide them for our members, but we provide a lot of free financial education resources for all of the community. And so we want to use these to allow us to get even more people access to these resources. So we do really fun events where we'll have the community come to Loveland Living Planet Aquarium or some of our other partners' venues and have a really fun night and also teach their kids about finances. Establish them young. Believe it or not, kids can understand basic money concepts as early as 3, and by 7, many of their habits are established. So the sooner we can get them learning proper financial habits, the better. And we've also used these to, promote our one-on-one coaching sessions. As you know, we work with some NIL athletes. We've provided them one-on-one coaching to get them set up for success as they likely enter, professional life and making a lot of money and making sure they know how to use money so they can save. But no matter what stage of life you're at, we have financial education resources that can help. And so we've used a lot of it to help with children, but we also have special nights where adults can come and learn and the whole family. So we really want to make sure we're utilizing these partnerships to give back to the community, and financial education is just another great way. And so this year so far, through all of our financial education offerings, through our wonderful financial education team, we've had over 1.3 million impacts in the community.
Wow.
So a lot of work has been done there with our financial education team.
Love it. Well, you're going to get 3 more because I've already ruined my kids if they're already 7. Everyone. Darn it. So yeah, we'll definitely get in, but I do love that. So if I want more resources on financial education, which I'm going to give a shameless plug for exactly what we're doing right now, our Guiding You Forward podcast, everyone, really all started as an effort to provide financial education for the community.
Yeah. So if you want more information, you can go to macu.com/guide and find out all of our financial education resources. There's a lot of different ones. And so we have everything from webinars to, like I mentioned, these big events where you get to go experience the aquarium for free and learn about financial education, to one-on-one financial coaching sessions. And as I mentioned, these are open for all community members, not just Mountain America members. So we want to help the entire community.
And they're all free.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. Which you can sit down with a financial consultant and pay hundreds of dollars, or you can come to Mountain America and sit down with someone for free. So,
yes.
Yeah, very, very cool. So when we're talking about where to give, how to decide what to give, are we giving our blood? Are we giving our money? What does that look like? I really want to touch on budget one more time, because obviously we're all about our finances here at Mountain America. What are your thoughts? Do we need to budget like at the beginning of the year for this time of giving, or what's the best practice?
Yeah, so everyone does it a little bit differently. A lot of times it's easy to put it in your monthly budget. So you have a set aside each month. Or you can do it every quarter. However you do your budgeting, we always recommend you actually budget in giving. And you can even put it in an account. We talk a lot about naming your money and creating named savings accounts.
Yes.
So you can create a savings account that's just giving, and that's ready. Obviously, a lot of times we think of Christmas time as giving, but Christmas time may be the worst time to try to budget for that, because it's also one of the most expensive times of year.
Yeah.
So if, to your point, if you start in January saving for both the holidays and giving, it will make it a lot easier. And again, you don't have to feel obligated to give. If you look at your budget and you can't give, if you feel pressure to give or you want to help, but you're looking at your account and you're just like, I can't make it happen. We need to be okay with that and find another way to give back. So a lot of times we have this feeling, what should I be doing, this pressure? But again, it's okay to say, I can't give monetarily, but I want to give in another way. I want to give my time, or I want to give my blood, or whatever it may be.
Okay. So in addition to helping our members define and achieve their financial dreams, which is our vision at Mountain America, any other parting thoughts you have as we talk about giving and the season of giving and what we all should be focused on?
Yeah, I just want to, we couldn't do a lot of the programs we do without the help of our members and the community members as a whole. So, talking about the Fall in Love adoption event, just thank you to everyone who came out and opened their homes and their hearts to these wonderful pets. And thank you to everyone who, has contributed to different programs we have, including the USANA Kids Eat match that we have right now. And just thank you for the difference everyone's making in the community. A small service act can make a big difference. So we just appreciate the support of the community, and we're here for them.
Love it. Well, thank you so much, Brittany, for joining us today.
Thank you. It's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, it has. And thanks to all of you for joining as well. Please go and give. It's going to make you happier, as Brittany's told us, and make us all happier. And we will see you on the next episode of Guiding You Forward.